Well, boys, we had to call the big guns in this week. We got to talk about some Liverpool. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from a collection of friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. Up top with me tonight, that's Brad. He supports Chelsea, specifically Chelsea. Down below on the bottom line, we got Sean. He supports Tottenham. And welcome back to the podcast, Jimmy. How are you doing? Our resident Liverpool aficionado. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, guys. Glad to be back. It's been a little while. It's also funny that I, just was mentioning this podcast to a random guy at a bar in Atlanta this past weekend, and allegedly got a subscriber. Whether or not he's subscribed or not, but I was like, I'm on it occasionally. Maybe I'll be on again soon. And of course, 24 hours later, I get the call.
The data does show that we are up 2 subscribers this week on YouTube. So welcome. Random.
I may have gotten 2.
Yeah, welcome random guys from bars in Atlanta. You guys should also tell your buddies at the bar in Atlanta. But like Jimmy's best friends in Atlanta, if you're new here, if you just stumbled across us, thanks for tuning in. We really do appreciate that you click this link. If you would be so kind and give us a subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow it if you're on the podcast site, comment, rate, review, all that good stuff. It really does help us out. And the share button does help tremendously. And, if you're feeling so inclined, listening to the entire thing really does help the algorithm promote us. So all those things really do help us. And we appreciate that you are taking your time to tune in. So I don't know. I don't specifically remember the last time you were with us, Jimmy. I think it was before the season started, though, probably over the summer. And
I don't remember. Maybe.
I'm not sure anyone had Liverpool pegged to be first at this point in the season, and we are
by 8.
Yeah,
and by 8 too.
And we're gonna get to Liverpool in just a minute, but we do have to figure out how they got to being 8 points clear of Manchester City in second, because boy oh boy was that a result at the Etihad, wasn't it? There, Shawnee boy.
It's called the Dekihad for Deki Kulusevski.
Oh, ooh. All right.
Two assists on the day. It was 2 assists when we beat them away 2 seasons ago. 2 big assists on that one, because that was a 4-3 win, and a comeback win.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
it was
wait. He had
2
one assist. One.
Oh, because his assist went to Solanke, who then passed it back to Porro. But it was his assist that sprung it. But it's not going to show up on this.
He got a hockey assist.
He got the hockey assist.
He got the hockey. It's not going to show up on a stat sheet. I forgot that Solanke had to go get it and then pass it back to Porro. But it was his pass that sprung it. So it counts in my heart. In my own personal rule book, that was an assist.
Check it off.
Stats. Sean's world.
So yeah, it went exactly like I think everybody in this podcast thought it would go.
Absolutely. I thought there was absolutely no way City was winning.
Well,
are you being serious?
He is being serious.
I'm being serious.
I thought we were getting drummed.
I thought it was going to be a draw.
Yeah.
They're not injured. Don't let Pep is peddling Russian disinformation. They are not injured. They have Rodri out injury. And Oscar Bob and like Duco, or Doku. That's it. That's not game change. There's not team wrecking. Oscar Bob doesn't even play. Losing
Rodri is very impactful.
Sure, it's an impactful injury, but you're Manchester City and you have 22 players.
Sure,
you have a second 11 that could finish in top European 4 spots in Premier League. Like, no, you don't get to complain about that.
Yeah, certainly. I agree with you implicitly in everything that you're saying. Of any of the clubs in England, there are
Chelsea,
City. Yeah, Chelsea and City don't get to complain about injuries, followed closely behind by Manchester United. Those are the 3 clubs, and there is a gulf between Chelsea and City to Manchester United.
Yeah.
But yes, there are City and Chelsea specifically don't get to complain about injuries. And especially with City, like it's not even like it's a plethora of injuries. It's one significant injury. And I mean, like Kevin De Bruyne has also missed games this season so far. But I think
he's coming back. He's not fully fit,
sure,
but
Yeah.
feeling enough to play.
They've got nagging injuries.
yes.
But I think
Kyle
the
Walker
big thing
has
is
also
that
got issues.
Little
Yeah.
niggles.
I think there's like an underrated thing about the Rodri injury, though. We talked a little about this before the show started. That sixth position has just in modern football turned out to be just so completely vital. Then when you don't have an adequate replacement for that person, which City doesn't, surprisingly, with as many players that they have of quality, they can't put a player in that position. But just, I mean, look at the examples I brought up are Chelsea. When they've really struggled is because they've had injury issues in that sixth position and they just couldn't fill the role. Now Chelsea's starting to resurge a little bit, and what's happening? The sixes that they signed over the last couple of years are now all healthy, and they have a little bit more depth there. And all of a sudden Chelsea's, challenging for the top four again. Liverpool win the league and then turn into I don't even know, like Fulham,
Refuse.
and it's because we sold Wijnaldum. We had Fabinho also, in that position, but he got hurt, and so then we relied on who? Jordan Henderson to play that role.
Yeah, he's.
And if
I
you
mean,
want to hear a good summary of the ability of Jordan Henderson, I believe there's a certain Tim Seed anyone can reach out to.
Yes, absolutely. He was probably the most excited person when he found out that Jordan Henderson was on his way to Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah.
Context around Sean's point about no one thought that the game went exactly the way everyone thought. Literally, the only person who picked Spurs was Chap, and Jimmy, you were the only other person to pick a draw. Everyone else thought City was going to win the match.
Wait.
It's Tottenham.
Wait.
City just can't beat Tottenham.
Whatever reason.
Sean picked City.
Sean picked
Yes,
City.
I did.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
So for those of you who watched the game, let's go back. Does Rodri on the field, does that stop the first goal? No. It's a bloop over the top. Madison gets in behind the back line. It's a great finish, but it's a better pass.
I think that's too
simplistic.
It's
hard to say.
Yeah, I think it's too simplistic to look at at things in microcosms of like what's going on here. Like I think you look at the way that Rodri would affect the match, just generally speaking. And
because your argument would be they wouldn't be in those positions.
Yeah, my argument
where that
would be,
was an opportunity if he were there.
That's part of my claim is that City would be more. They'd be more fluid. They'd be more ball dominating. Their press would be unlocked and be more effective with Rodri in the team. And so, sure, it's possible that Tottenham would have been in the exact same positions and they would have scored the exact same goals. But to say that had Rodri been there, I think it's just too simplistic to look at it that way.
Okay, fine.
I think it's obvious if he was there, it would have been a draw.
This guy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you have to.
Actually, City looked, and the stats show it out. If you just look at the raw stats and not the nerd stats, they had 58% possession. They had way more shots. I mean, they peppered Vicario. They had 24 shots, 5 on target. They dominated the game.
I mean, speaking of Vicario, they broke his ankle.
Broke his ankle in the 30th minute. He played 60 minutes on a broken ankle and had 5 saves because he had none at the time of the injury.
That's incredible.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane.
And a couple of them were really good saves. And now knowing that he was on a broken ankle, that is actually kind of insane.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. So Vicario out is going to be really damaging to our title push, as I hope we do.
Yeah. So speaking of the title push, you are currently 12 points behind Liverpool with what is this?
You just wanted to say that part, didn't you?
Yeah, I just wanted to say title push.
26 games to go. Can you guys overcome 12 points in 26 games?
12. Yeah, easily. Yeah, absolutely. But the most important part is, we're 4 points off second.
True.
So that's the important
good.
part. We got to get there, and then we can go to. We can't get to first without going to second first.
With Forster and net, you think you have a shot at second?
And Brandon Austin. Don't forget about Brandon Austin.
Oh, he's my bad.
That's the word on the street. That's the word on the street is the third goalkeeper is going to play in Rome tomorrow, and Forster is getting ready for Fulham.
In Rome, while you guys are watching this, while you guys are listening to us speak, he is
today
currently starting against Rome.
Brandon Austin
Rome game. Yes.
We talked about this sometime this season, James.
Time out. This podcast is going to release on a Wednesday. Tottenham aren't in the Champions League. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow when you're watching this.
Okay, great. There you go. Y'all set this up. Brad did that on purpose.
That was a solid setup, wasn't it?
It was intentionally, it was so lucky on your part, Brad.
Was it? I knew what I was doing.
No, you didn't.
So we talked about this at some point this season, James, that the Brandon Austin being on the roster. Normally, your third goalkeeper is not 25.
Yeah,
who came through your academy.
Generally,
normally that's not something that happens.
Normally, that's your second. Normally, that's your second goalkeeper.
Yes, and so we summarized it by basically saying he must be okay. He must, but if he was good enough, why not just not sign Forster? I don't know the. Well, I don't know the intent, but that's the idea of it.
It's more that Tottenham have just held on to Forster this long because he's been with Tottenham for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
And so it's just
since Joe Hart left. Yeah.
It's just a matter of I forgot Joe Hart played for Tottenham. It's a matter of the fact that Forster has he probably has no desire to leave. He's playing for Tottenham. Well, let me back it up. He's training at the Tottenham training facility, gets to show up to games, and just
he plays in Europe and in the cups.
Whatever, man. But he gets
very important role.
I'm sure the reserve goalkeeper, especially the old head reserve goalkeeper who's had his whole career, and they're just they're just vibing at a club. I'm sure that's a great gig. I'm sure it's
like being it's like being the bullpen catcher.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
The backup catcher.
I think that the Vicario injury will have a rather large impact on Tottenham going forward. I don't think you guys are in a title chase. I'll be honest with you, but I also don't think Arsenal are in a title chase, and we're only 3 points ahead of you. So that's my caveat. And the reason why we're not in a title chase is because one exceedingly bald man from the Netherlands decided to rock up into England and show all the other bald people that they're the real frauds and that he is the real master bald person in Arne Slot. Jimmy, 12 games in, 10 wins, 1 draw, 1 drawn, 1 lost, positive 16 goal difference. Surely you were not expecting this coming into this season.
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, we've been so far healthy.
That's a big part.
That's a big part of it. I mean, we've lost Allison for a while, but Kelleher is, in my opinion, could start at more than 50% of the clubs in the Premier League. He's an outstanding goalkeeper. He's a great backup.
I'll take him to replace Vicario.
Yeah, I'm sure
you guys aren't using him.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's been great. Mo is kind of back to form. Luis Diaz has been outstanding, even though we kind of thought we were going to lose him in the summer to PSG. Darwin Nunez is still Darwin Nunez. He's actually probably worse than he has been. He's still kind of a threat, moving forward, because he's so kind of devious and kind of a little bit of chaos. He is scoring at a probably a little bit higher rate than putting the ball off the post. Now it's still happening, but it's not as bad as it was last year. But he's also not playing as much. Now, we did lose Jota again to an injury, and that has hurt because he's just been such an outstanding player as well. But I think the underestimated surprise of the year so far for Liverpool is Curtis Jones. He has been outstanding, in the league, in Europe, everything over the last 5 weeks, whatever. He's kind of come into the lineup a little bit ahead of McAllister and Szoboszlai a little bit, and he's just been outstanding. Even for England, he debut, start, goal, whatever. he's been great. Defensively we've been pretty solid, but honestly not as good as we probably should be. But we're just scoring that many goals.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the goals are going to continue through all 38 match weeks? No, probably not. And again, what generally seems to happen is that when Liverpool the lead going into Christmas, which it looks like they're going to do this year, we completely fall apart.
I think it's more. I think it's less to do with the goals that you guys are scoring. Rather, it has to do more with the goals that you're not conceding. You guys have a rather large margin in terms of goals against compared to the next best team. And
who has the second highest goal differential, James?
Well, the second highest goal differential is Tottenham, but the second best defense in England is Arsenal this season so far.
And I don't know that I think our defense has been that good.
Yeah,
I think Andy Robertson is like kind of past his prime, unfortunately, this year, and I really like Andy. Trent's hurt. But Connor Bradley's an outstanding right back. And actually, defensively, that probably helps us a little bit, but he's a little reckless. I mean, Verge, Kanate have been great. Kwanzaa has been a little iffy. He's actually, the couple games he played, he's been a little off. But again, I feel like we aren't actually performing that well defensively, but it's just, I mean, the results are there. It's just, I feel like there's actually more improvement that could be done defensively in my mind.
A question that I saw pop up today when I was watching Football Fill-In, Ben Foster's show. It was talking specifically about the three major guys that you guys have out of contract: Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Mo Salah. Now, after the game this weekend, Mo Salah came out and said, I haven't received a contract offer from the club. He said, like, it's December is essentially what he said, and he doesn't have a contract offer. Do you think that their contract situations will destabilize what is going on right now? Or do you think that these guys are consummate professionals and can overcome it? And then
I think that they're professionals. I don't think it'll be a problem. What I also do believe that they'll probably be sorted out in some regard prior to the summer, because there's no way they're going to let any of those guys go free.
So just as a point, though, come January, they can negotiate with Real and PSG and Saudi.
I know.
So
you got to get that squared away before the end of December.
And I said all three of them because I think that's where they're like. I think that's the rumors, right? Is Trent to Real, Mo to Saudi, and I don't know where Virgil would go.
But that's always been those have been the rumors for a while.
Yeah.
I think Trent to Real is a real possibility, especially with Carvajal getting his knee blown up or whatever.
And he's old.
Yeah.
So and he's 58 years old. So
Trent to Real is the reason that Porro to Real is being floated.
Hold on.
Because
the left back for
what's
Real
that?
next year? The left back for Real next year is apparently going to be Alphonso Davies also. No. Davies on the left, Trent on the right. But I digress. I would say out of the three, who do you think stays and who do you think goes? Because like we said, Trent, like you said,
I always projected Mo to leave, but I expected us to get a payday for him. So that's why I just don't see how they're not going to get a contract worked out. I would not be surprised if Trent left, but the caveat though is he is like a Liverpool through and through. So the question is like, is he just wanting to like finish out his career, just trying something else out with his boy Jude, right? Because they're like pretty tight friends.
But he's probably like what 26, but
26 to 28 somewhere in there.
Actually, what I was going to say earlier was out of those three, Trent's the only one that I would imagine the contract situation would affect him on field. Virgil's a professional. Mo Salah's a professional.
Yeah.
None of that's going to affect their on-field performance. But Trent has shown signs of diva. It's not often, but that's the only one I would imagine that it would affect him.
He's also, again, like we're talking about all three guys being in the core part of the leadership
Yeah.
within
Normal,
the clubhouse.
in my
Now,
experience, the players go to Madrid because they want to win the Champions League. They want to win.
Mm.
They want to win trophies, and they want to go down in the record books. But they've already all done that at Liverpool. So that's
Well,
not, that wouldn't be Trent's dream to finally win the Champions League like it was for Gareth Bale and Luka Modric,
yeah,
or Harry Kane. It's
Ronaldo already
Trent's
won
already
it.
done that. So
It's
I
just,
guess to Brad's point, the only advantage to going to Madrid would be to play with his buddy Jude
well, and brand, right?
and Brand.
Generally,
Yeah,
players that go to Real Madrid they're promoting a brand, not necessarily. You don't go to Liverpool for that. You're going to
right.
Barcelona, Real Madrid, G. That's really about it. Maybe United,
Yeah.
but
Not
I
recently,
can see
but
that.
before. Not
Now,
recently, but before. Yes.
do I think Trent's going to go? Not really. I think there's a chance we could lose Verge, but now that the management situation's worked out, and as long as they have a good relationship, I could see all three guys staying. I mean, I don't know. I personally, I try not to worry about it.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
And
So
I think
it just seemed like a good question to bring up because I was curious with your perspective about it. So,
Hey James, do you want to talk about
What's up,
some trees falling down? Do we think this is the fall off? The start of the fall off for Nuno?
Lumberjack Bukayo Saka just brought his axe and started chopping. No, I mean, I don't know, like Arsenal Forest, it seemed a weird selection, just the way that they set up in terms of like, we all kind of know Nuno as being this really defensively stout, pragmatic manager that wants to just kind of like frustrate you for 85 minutes and then steal a goal. I don't know if any of our teams have any specific examples or experience with that this year. Liverpool.
They played us really tight, yeah.
But like it seemed weird that they rocked up to the Emirates and were like, we're gonna go for this game and we're gonna get something out of it instead of just being like, yeah, Arsenal, break us down. And so obviously I'm quite glad with the result, but it seemed like they made their own bed with the way that they set themselves up.
They played one natural center back, Milikovic. Because
Murillo is a center back, bro.
He is listed on this as a midfielder.
Murillo is a center back. I don't know where you're looking at. But.
Is Eric Dyer a center back? Because he started his career as an 8. So it's possible that Murillo is moving his way back on the pitch.
It could be. But he's been playing center back for them at least the past 2, like this season and last season.
The other listed defender is Ola Aina, who is a right back. So, and really more of a wing back. So that was the only 2 listed defenders, with Milikovic and Ole Aina.
Yeah, it was a good game. Sean, I missed part of the first half, and I never saw the highlight that you were complaining about with Saka kicking somebody. It should have been sent off. How serious were you about that?
I was probably trolling.
Okay.
I don't even remember it.
I don't even remember. I watched a bit of that game too, or at least a lot of the highlights too. And I don't even remember Saka fouling anybody.
Yeah, like all I saw was we were in Discord and just it was Saka red. That has to be red. And I was like, whoa, okay, what did I miss?
This is poor radio, but I was thinking,
because
I think it had something. I think it had something to do with kicking the ball away.
Well, that would that would check out for Arsenal.
Yeah, that would check out for Arsenal. I think that's why I was being so over the top with it. I was being more sarcastic. But
Brad, do you have any notes about getting Steve Cooper fired?
That's probably
you did.
Chelsea knocking down managers again. Feels good to be the team that's causing that. I don't know. I don't know what Leicester would have expected. A 2-1 goal, like there should have been 2 red cards. B, you could have argued there should have been 2 penalties, but the 2 red cards I think would have outweighed that. Either way, I don't know what you're expecting coming to the bridge with this Chelsea team and your Leicester City. At this version of Leicester City. Like, I don't know why this was the result that they decided, hey, Steve, you got to go, bro.
And this is the insanity of firing the manager 1 match after the end of an international break. Is that if you are willing to pull the trigger that quickly, then you were willing to do it before the international break started.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just cut your losses. If you're already not feeling it and you feel like you can do better, just do it at the beginning of the international break. Like all of this,
Yes.
I mean, like, and I gave United a hard time about this as well with Ten Hag. And now luckily they had kind of a built-in interim in Ruud van Nistelrooy who had some experience managing and also is a United legend. And so like you kind of get buy-in instantly. Maybe Leicester have some sort of that in their setup where they can rely on like a Ryan Mason or something like that. Because I think Ryan Mason's still on the Tottenham staff, right? Yeah, he's the break in case of emergency glass at Tottenham.
He is getting traction at I believe it was Feyenoord. It was one of the Belgian or Dutch leagues. One of the bigger clubs in one of those leagues was really sniffing around Mason.
Yeah, he's Tottenham's Frank Lampard.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I just
they were both equally good on the field. So
leaves me baffled every time a club just fires their manager. Won the game after that. Yes. Okay.
Pause.
We had to unload this.
What?
Yeah, I know. Mac was way better than Lampard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, what were you guys like? Ryan Mason's a legend in England, bro. Like, why would you even compare him to Frank Lampard? That scrub.
It's true.
You know what? It's kind of like
you guys need to watch you guys really do need to watch the YouTube because as Sean says it, he starts laughing as he's trying to get a shot back about my joke about when we record this and when Tottenham play.
Yeah.
Because truth be told,
listen,
Chelsea played at the same time, so
this is kind of like this is like one of those like situations where like we hold up like Kurt Cobain like Simba because he died when he was like after 1 album or 2 album or whatever they did, and like he's just great. He's not that great. All right, Nirvana wasn't that great at all. Like it was okay.
Are you talking about like
Ryan,
like okay?
I'm talking about Ryan Mason. Like he got the head injury. And you know he's viewed as a Premier League legend, just much like Kurt Cobain, and just
Okay, time out. I don't think Ryan Mason is viewed as a Premier League.
Yeah. And it was just because he was forced out by injury early.
Is Micah Richards a Premier League legend? Is Big Meeks a Premier League legend? Like okay.
Are these people forced out by injury?
No, Big Meeks had a long and fruitful career. He's more of a broadcasting legend at this point. All right. Should we check in and see how everyone did with picks this week?
No. We can probably just skip it, bro.
Probably terrible.
You just want to skip
it?
Oh no!
Everybody stink.
How fast?
Everybody stink. Everybody stink.
No, not everybody stink. Everyone except for Sean and Jimmy stink. Now there were a couple results that there were 4 games, where everyone got it wrong. So that was the Villa Palace game. Everyone picked Villa. That game ended in a draw.
As everyone would have expected.
Right? Everton Brentford. There was a smattering of different picks here. Actually, only Tamseed picked Everton, and that game ended in a draw. Everyone got Fulham wrong. Like who here? Obviously, no one here. But who would have thought that Wolves would put 4 past Fulham
at home?
I saw that.
I will say Wolves may be finally coming around because I do not think that Wolves is a bottom of the barrel team. I think they are a mid-table team. Yep. I have a soft spot for Wolves. I think they're almost always better than people think they are.
They had the hardest opening 12 games.
They did.
We talked about that in the last episode or two. That Wolves just you just watch a Wolves game And you're just like, there's no way this team is in the relegation zone. You just watch a game.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no way.
I think Chap was trolling when he picked Spurs, I'll be honest. And I have to believe it. And then we all picked Newcastle to beat West Ham at St. James's Park. And commiserations to Joel. Have we checked on Joel? Has anyone heard from him?
I don't think I've heard from him since this weekend. I will do that check and I will get back to you guys.
Yeah,
I was not able to watch that game at all because I was on the road all day yesterday. But I was pretty surprised when I saw the score when I got up, to the in-laws' house or whatever. I don't know what happened to Newcastle. I mean, I honestly, it's probably coming off an international break, and it's that whole sluggishness that like 50% of the teams have, and we could potentially guess that Fulham also had that issue, right? I mean, I'll say Liverpool had it a little bit because I mean we did not look great against Southampton, but we looked. I mean, we still won, but we looked like we had just come off an international break.
You were in a dogfight.
But your players
2-3 with Southampton, the worst team in the league.
Your players were flying from South America back to England, and like he had players.
We had a lot. Yes, we had a lot of them do that.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know. It's. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, it's Newcastle's a solid team.
Yeah, Newcastle should be beating this specific
West Ham. Yeah, I agree.
So what does that leave us? Sean wins the weekend with a whopping grand total of 5.
I'm keeping that 50%.
So nobody got over 5. Jimmy, you ended with 4. Though I think since you're here, we need to set the record straight because there has been accusations lobbed against you that this is not a single person operation and that it is in fact a Jimmy and Jack selection. Would you care to comment, sir?
That's 100% accurate.
Oh,
now wow. I will say
it's like performance enhancing.
Yeah,
it is 100%. Yes, it is. It is a cheat code.
It's a PEDs.
So I will say that there are a lot of more. So I also what I thought you were going to say is that there's maybe maybe some question that because I almost always send my picks in after the first game.
Yeah, that's facts too.
I don't remember to do it until I wake up and I see notifications in Discord being like, "Oh, preview picks." I'm like, "Crap." Okay, now I'm never going to be the first person because I want to be able to copy and paste. I don't want to type it all out. And so, what I'll do is I'll get it as soon as I wake up. I haven't turned the TV on yet. And I'll start filling it out. And if Jack is down the stairs and not playing like NCAA football or who knows what he does, the kid has powered through like 35 seasons of The Simpsons this summer. It's ridiculous. I'll ask him a couple of things here and there. I don't remember if we actually. No, I'm pretty sure we talked about it this week. But yes, Jack does participate.
For your own information, if you're feeling froggy, you do have access to the Discord channel where I post all the rundowns, and I just copy and paste from the Google Doc.
That is fair.
So you can find them there. Where does that leave everybody?
Wait.
What's up?
Does that mean? Oh, wait. Are we just? This is a 2-man operation. I think we need to discuss whether or not this is fair and legal here.
So basically, I'm the winner, is what you guys are saying.
No,
this is a 2-horse race now. I'm coming back.
What I would say is that if Jimmy wins, all prizes and victory celebrations get to be claimed by Jack. Clearly,
clearly.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Fair. That's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
Jimmy, you are still in the lead. You're on 68 points. Sean is right behind on 66. Brad is at 61, and literally no one else matters.
Pick better, James. Pick better,
bro. I am. Yeah, you're right. I need to pick better. What are you doing, Brad?
I was putting you have moved up to 4th. You have passed Joel.
Oh, okay, great, fantastic. I'm now 4th in the standings.
You and Joel are in a. It's tight. It's 1 point difference for 4th place.
Time out. Joel also didn't pick a week, so the only reason I went up above him is because he didn't pick a week.
Jimmy, my worst week, I copied and pasted James's picks, and I actually agreed with every one of them. I was like, oh yeah, James is actually spitting fire here. Yeah, and I agreed with every one of them. I didn't even change a single pick because I agreed with every single one of them, and it was my worst week picking.
I actually think I don't know which week it was, but I think there may have been a week where Brad and I agreed
Oh, that's
on everything.
dangerous.
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I feel like there was a time I copied Brad's and I didn't change anything.
Well, Brad's not far behind us, so
Yeah.
All right.
we got the cheating Jimster and the Shonstradamus way out front.
I'm coming for this title.
If you guys are interested in this, we also do have percentages based on the number of games that you actually picked. And so if I look quickly at that, yeah, Jimmy, you're still in the lead there. If you guys are interested in getting involved in this, you can join our Discord, and in our preview episodes, that's where you can like drop a YouTube comment, whatever. Just submit your picks at some point, and we'll get them into the spreadsheet. That's all we got for this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would be so inclined to check back with us on Friday, because we will be dropping the preview of round 13 this weekend. It's weird because we've got midweek fixtures next week as well, so we might touch base on the midweek round 14 fixtures, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we record that podcast. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Hit us up on social medias. I'm at James Tiffany. Brad is at KS Brad G. Sean is at Whiteheart_Sean. At Team Dugan. That's 2 O's, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
Collectively, we are at redcard_radio. You can email us info.redcardradio@gmail.com. Yeah.
Look at you go. It's like we do this every week.
I'm getting better. But that's it. We will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Thanks so much.